Welcome.
Watch out! It's a monster!
Alrighty. Hold up. We the boys. Alright, before we get this party started, there's a couple things I need to do. First and foremost, I need to go ahead and get a mic check. Can I get a mic check? Mic, music. Michael. Alright guys, is the mic checked? Are we gaming? I'm still a little sick, but I'm here. Time for a new bit? Never a new bit, okay? The bit will just never get old, I promise. Alright. So, first things first, let's put on something much more chill, because we are about to talk. Do a little bit of this. Gonna lower the music a bit here. Okay, so you just refuse to see it? It's not, first of all, it gets a pop every time. That's like saying Stone Cold's theme song is old. Or every time it goes to the ring, like, what? You know what? First of all, it gets a pop every single time. Don't tap download. Alright, so first things first, we need to get some guests in the house before we get started. So I am going to... yeah, I'm gonna do this.
Fucking Jesus.
Yeah. Mic check. Yo.
Oh, Ryan.
Yo.
I had stream audio on max so I could actually hear you. And then you just came in guns blazing and I am deaf.
What's going on, gamers? Alright, so we'll go one by one. This is a voice reveal, I think. I think this is a voice reveal. So we'll start with Moxie first, because Moxie is boring. We all know him. Can I get a mic check on Moxie Mets?
Chat, I need you all to let me know if I'm boring. Because what the fuck is this bullshit going on right now? This is a betrayal.
Boo! All I heard was boring, but can I get a mic check?
Yo, what's good, Brawlic community? How y'all doing tonight?
Oh my god, it's Ryan.
We have another mic check. Chat, can you guys please let me know?
Before.
True. Yeah, you've been in Discord calls. This might be the first time on stream, though.
Yeah. I think it's probably Moxie first time hearing me.
Yeah. No, this is the voice reveal, Ryan, and
big voice reveal.
Yeah,
not bad. We see what you're working with.
About to reveal more soon.
Oh, baby.
Guys, can you guys hear Ryan and Moxie? Can we confirm in chat?
Oh, what, mine?
Yep, that's Ryan.
Yeah.
So
it's like a guy drowning or something.
Correct.
I can hear them. All right, perfect. So let me do a quick little introduction to week one and what we're doing here. So week one draft recap. We have two guests because Moxie's other plans got canceled on. So we have two guests for week one. We have none other than Ryan, aka Rocco, aka the leader of the Cub Chews. one of our draft regulars and one of our best coaches. Ryan is here. Moxie is here. We're going to watch some replays. We're going to talk some jazz. Baby. And then we're going to vote. What are our 3 categories again? I kind of forgot.
What did we have? We had aura, fun, and viability.
No, that was for the draft team. I want to do 3 awards.
Bro, why are we changing that? We need aura.
Oh, best prep.
It's best prep, MVP mod, and there's one more I can't remember.
Best prep,
I think best
MVP,
match, maybe?
Pokemon. Oh, I think it was best play. Like if we see one individual play. Okay, so I'm going to type it in chat, and then I'm going to pin it so everybody in chat knows what we're looking for. Okay, so you guys voted on 5 matches from week 1. We're going to watch those 5 matches on stream. All right, we're probably going to put it in slow motion so we can talk a little bit of Dookie. And then we're going to decide amongst ourselves who had the best prep for week 1, what Pokemon absolutely carried in week 1, and what we think might have been the best play, or like best play, or like best adjustment. You know, we'll figure it out as we go. So is there any match that you guys are looking forward to the most?
What ended up getting picked? I think yours is one of the ones that got picked, so I think that'd be a pretty good one to go over.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna scroll all the way up on general. This is my Discord, guys, so obviously no shenanigans going on here. I know the votes are here. I probably should have, like, memorized this.
You should have pinned it, you know.
Oh, I think I way skipped it. Rutro. Did I way skip it? There was no way.
I don't think you did. I think you're in the wrong chamber personally, but, you know.
Well, didn't I ask in general? You're viewing old
it was general for some reason, because I thought, like...
Oh, yeah, I'm not there yet. Yeah. Okay. Good morning. Oh, here it is. Okay, so we're looking for the 5. Yo, CMBZ, Kiramis, Legends. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the draft recap. Mine would be hard to go over.
Yeah, what up, homies?
Okay, so we have the Snorlaxes versus Dragonite. We have, this is Kira versus Pokenerd, right? MBM?
Yeah.
Oh, so Kira versus
Malvogi,
Pokenerd.
Mimikyus.
We have the Cubchews versus the Gribs. We have the Brius versus the Dozos. And I think 5th is... that's Meldy, right? Meldy versus Jarrett?
Oh, of course it's Meldy and Jen, baby.
Yeah. Right, I'm 10, 11, 9, 10, 7. Okay. All right, so do you guys want to watch in order of who got the most votes, but like backwards? So like we'll start with Meldy Jarrett, then we'll do the Cubchews, then me, then Briu, and then we'll finish on the match with the most votes, which was Shay.
Yeah, we always go
fair.
Oh, not Shay. Yeah, Pokédex. All right, so somebody keep track of which matches. Yeah. I'm starting with the Jarrett one, so I'm gonna go down to the game sub chamber. I forgot Terras, so just randomly clicked moves. There is something I wanted to talk about from that match. So we're not gonna choose the matches. We're gonna go by the votes. So if the votes say do it, we do it. It's absolutely not worth watching. Well, too many people voted for it, so.
Also, Jen.
Right,
the team is full of fish.
Yeah.
True.
There's some funny moments in this game. One that made me laugh, actually.
Yeah, and I actually, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure at the end of game 2, I thought Jarrett was going to win. There was like a very like pivotal turn, if I remember correctly. I don't fully remember though.
It was something that happened that made me laugh. I know what you're talking about. Now I'm gonna wait for it to happen.
All right, so game 1.
So we're starting with game 1, yeah.
Someone tell John how to use search. No, I'm gonna be a boomer for the rest of my life. Okay, we're gonna go speed slow, right? Okay, so speed is gonna be slow. You guys might have a little bit of delay. So I think what I'm gonna do, should I just pause after every turn to give you guys a chance to talk about it?
I'm actually watching on my own too. Like you said, to set it to slow or really slow, because I have it pulled up on my phone.
Okay, I'm just gonna put it on speed slow, and then I guess I'll stop after every like maybe 2 turns, and we'll talk about it maybe.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, I'm gonna
Works for
turn
me.
off the music because I'm gonna go with the in-game showdown music because the showdown music
Oh.
just kind of gets me in the mood. I'm not gonna lie.
Hear me out. Have you adjusted that volume to not blow out everybody's
Oh, I'm
eardrums?
blowing out everybody's eardrum, especially because Bryu's been real spicy in chat, so he deserves this.
This guy breathe. Come on, man. I'm living my life, bruh. Yeah.
All right, don't mind me, guys. I am vaguely dying. Okay, so this is the first of our 5 matches. Volume is down. Okay, we are viewing Meldy versus Jarrett. I'm gonna hit play. Okay, I think we should pause after the lead, right? That's a good time to pause, I think.
Yeah, we can talk about the leads or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so do you guys want to talk about leads, or do you want to let the first like turn or two go and then I pause it?
We can talk about leads.
We can maybe, yeah, we
All
can
right, let's
quickly
talk
discuss
about
it
leads and let's
say
talk
maybe
about
what we
team
think's
because we
gonna
have
happen.
team preview here.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll kind of start us off with the Jarrett preview. We all know what's going on here. It's a bunch of fucking fish, and I'm not mad at it, okay? As the champion of my team has no legs, I support this team. It's got a bunch of fish. But what's underrated, I think, is we have an ice type, we have a dark type, we have a ground type, we have a psychic type, we have anti-priority, we have water absorb. So even though it's just a bunch of fish, there's still tools, you know what I mean, to like get stuff done if you have to. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I have no idea what Gorbis does. You could fool me. That thing could be, I don't even know. I have no idea what it does. Apparently it has hydration.
Thing could be big, yes.
And Wishy-Washy, we know it's slow, but it hits like a tank. And then from Meldy's side, we have Rotom and Murkrow. Do you guys want to talk about Meldy's team?
Yeah, Meldy's team is like pretty balanced. It's got like Trick Room and Tailwind. Pretty solid.
Yeah. So I'm looking at it. I'm seeing Musharda, Marowak. Obviously, that's his Trick Room mode. We have a Tailwind mode. We have Psychic Terrain. We have 2 electric types. So that's definitely something. And it makes sense when you're fighting a bunch of 17 fish. So, you know, it adds up.
Yeah, and it's like Rotom, it's obviously this team is a bunch of fish. Rotom feels like a cheat code here.
Yeah,
it just says pick a stab. I'm gonna click it, and it's working against these fish.
Nah.
It's so good versus all the different fish.
You get hit by Ice Beam, it might be over with.
That's also true. That is also true. And then Murkrow, we have that spicy thing where Murkrow's got access to Sunny Day. So Meldy just said, hey, I'm gonna take this anti-fish lead, and I'm just gonna put it here.
Yeah. It looks like Meldy brought all the hate for all the fish. So we're gonna let's just say 2 or 3 turns play, and then I'll pause it, and then we'll talk about what we see. Alright, so I'll do a little bit of play-by-play while we're watching. So we got Tailwind into Terra Electric. Meldy's going immediately into Discharge spam. He does hit his own Murkrow, and he gets the Para, which... Aqua Ring. That makes you feel bad about the Para. Alright, so this guy heals up. We bring in Fancy Fish. And just another Discharge. Alright, so that's 2 turns in, and we have 3 mods down. So do we call out Meldy for just spamming Eruption, or what's up here?
Listen, he's doing what he needs to do.
You know what, though? I will say, shout out to Meldy for having the courage to just kill his own Murkrow. Because even if I was in Jarrett's shoes, I wouldn't have seen this coming. You know what I mean? Like... Nobody really takes out their own Murkrow for Discharge spam. So I do think it was creative, at least.
Yeah, one of the things...
Hustle.
Wait, who had Hustle?
Oh, did you stop at turn 2, John? You said you were going to let it go for like 3 turns, and you stopped at 1.
No, I stopped at 2! Okay, I'll go back in. Okay, alright, we're back in. Alright, I guess we'll just watch the match, I guess.
Yeah, because like on slow, it's already gonna take like 7.5 years.
Okay, alright, I have an idea so we don't talk over each other. How about this? We were going to rotate play-by-play. So for this one, I'll finish the play-by-play. When I start game 2, we'll do Moxie, and then the next set we'll start with Ryan. And then at the end of each game, we'll just talk about it.
That works.
All right, cool. Because, like, I want to play-by-play,
Yeah,
but if we cut each other off, it's, like, kind of awkward. All right, so I'm going to finish the play-by-play for this one, and then we'll just talk about it. All right, so now we have Goopy Fish and Sharpedo. Sharpedo just got Bolt Beak. This thing's probably Scarf. So that is unfortunate. Pain Split on the Gastrodon into a full health Indeedee. Here comes the Arctivish. Okay, Bolt Beak misses. Okay, that's Hustle. Now I see where the Hustle is. Expanding Force, but the fish are bulky as all hell. Alright, we got some Rock Slide damage. We got Sludge Bomb into the Zolts. Not quite enough, but we do get the Poison. At this point, we kind of know Game 1 is like more or less over, but this is still a chance to get information, and this is still a chance to play and prepare for Game 2, right? So that's the end of Game 1. I'm going to pause it here. It was kind of quick. In this game, you know, in my opinion, I'll start us off. Meldy just had a really strong strategy. It was hard to see coming. He sacked the Murkrow, and he just blitzed. And there's kind of like not much you could really do about it if you didn't see it coming. Pretty sure this was Game 2? Nah, this wasn't Game 2.
No, it was Game 1, Jen.
Yeah, it's Game 1, because it says it in the chat thingy. Yeah.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's really one of those things where like there's only so much if you're running a mono type team that you can do when somebody just says, here's some electric types.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have like Jen's team has this point where like there's one immunity. And there's going to be so much electricity just getting shot out there. And again, this is also just to put a slide like this is no slack off Meldy. Meldy is just genuinely one of the better players in VGC. Definitely in the league as well. He's one of the better people in, I'd honestly probably say of all of Australia at this point. Like, and so
he's right up there with Steve Irwin.
Yeah. So like you've got like one of a great VGC player with electricity, and Jen is here, and she's here for fishy fun.
Yep.
It's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
And it's important to know too. Jarrett did not have Terras available, so that also is obviously a huge deal. But we're gonna go into Game 2. It doesn't let me click this link, right? No. Okay, I gotta go back to Discord. So much.
Yeah, no, you gotta go to Discord.
Yeah, you gotta go manually back.
Yeah. Okay, so Mox, I'm gonna hit play on the count of 3 in slow speed. You can just kind of take over the play-by-play. But if I remember correctly, this game got real spicy. So I'm gonna hit play on 3, 2, 1, play.
All right, so coming out, we see the leads of Rodamo and Murkrow. Meldy's really changing things up here, and we've got Jen making some adjustments. She's leading off with the Goopy Fish and also Fish. So we see Murkrow going in for the Sunny Day. Leaf Storm is missing Goopy Fish. That's a crazy great start. We have an Icicle Crash going into the Murkrow, and Goopy Fish goes for the Sludge Bomb, doing a huge amount of damage into Rotom and getting the poison on top of it. Oh my lord. All right, so now we see the Tailwind coming up. Meldy's trying to get that speed advantage going through. Oh, Leaf Storm into Goopy Fish. This time actually connecting, but the Icicle Crash will take Rotom out. And we see Murkrow still just chilling here. He's got his setup going, so I wonder what Murkrow's going to click next. Dracozolt coming out.
What's up,
we hope the hustle misses. In comes Baby Fish. And we see Schoolin coming in hot.
Quick Claw.
Oh, the Fish's Rend. Unfortunately, it is not going to be enough in the resisted hit in the sun. Brave Bird Murkrow coming in hot. Let's see what Baby Fish clicks. Iron Tail into the Dracozolt. Unfortunately, Dracozolt's typing, making it very strong against those moves. Oh, we've got Bruxus, the fancy and ugliest fish of them all. Here comes Indeedee. There will be no priority at all anymore. Ally switch from the Bruxus. Bruxus takes the bulk beat. Does Baby Fish take advantage? We see the Scald. No burn, unfortunately, for Jennifer Jarrett, but the lefty's recovery helping out. Noodlefish is back, and Noodlefish, indeed, he clicks the ally switch. The bulk beak misses Noodlefish. Hydro Pump into the Dracozolt, bringing Dracozolt down to a quarter of its health left. The Scald going into the Indeedee. This Sunny Day is unfortunately doing, wrecking the water moves. Bolt Beak landing into Baby Fish.
Okay.
Rain Dance coming through from Noodlefish. Trick Room being set up. Oh no. Now the speed is going to unfortunately not be in Jen's benefit. We see an ally switch coming out into Draco's ult. Another Bolt Beak miss! This Draco's ult has no eyes. Destiny Bond on the Sharpedo. Hydro Pump lands and knocks out this Indeedee. Sharpedo now cannot be touched unless Meldy wants to lose one of his mons. We see Musharda coming in. That is a slow Trick Roomy girl. We see Noodlefish. There's a Dazzling Gleam going through. The Shark unfortunately lives, but the Bolt Beak into the Sharpedo. Rough skin, and the Destiny Bond still active because Sharpedo has not moved. Jen has a Gorbis and a Dream going up against Meldy's 2 mons. However, one thing to note, that Murkrow, not good. We see Terra Ground Marowak, Expanding Force into the Noodlefish, and an Earthquake coming out, and that's going to seal it up for Meldy and the Australians taking game 2.
Okay, so hear me out. That game, when I watched it the first time, that turn that Meldy clicked Trick Room, if that wasn't Trick Room, I think Meldy loses. Because, like, that Swift Swim plus the rain, like, Sharpedo was about to come in and clean up if you look at the mons in the back. Like, so, like, I don't know if you guys got the same feeling as me, but, like, I was watching it, and I'm like, and then I saw the rain dance, and I'm like, yo. But then I saw Trick Room, and I was like, ah. And then at the end, I really wanted to see Gorbis go for a triple protect, because if it got triple protect, it probably one-shots Marowak, and then, like, maybe things get interesting. But, yeah, that Trick Room by Meldy was an amazing play, because I genuinely think without Trick Room, Sharpedo and Gorbis would have actually just won there, because the threats were already gone. Like, Draco's ult was gone, and Rotom was gone.
No, yeah,
if only if Jan could have, like, Draco vote quicker, then it would have been a lot easier. But Draco's ult just got in enough damage to, do its job or whatever.
Yeah, honestly, the sunny day being up was also so huge for Meldy going through that game, because none of Jen's moves, basically your entire team gets neutered with that sunny day up,
Yo, what's up, Big Lou? Welcome to the stream. Can I get a year? What's up, Lou? And yes, we have Big Rocco with us. All right, guys, so that was the 5th place match. It was a 2-gamer, but the votes are the votes. Let's go into our next one. Do you remember what the next one was? I think it was something.
Me remembering. If you click general, it should bring you back to where you were last, I think.
Yeah, it did.
It's actually my match, I think.
Yes, so this is the Cub Chews. Okay, perfect. So the Cub Chews, where art thou, Cub Chew? Okay, so this is the 4th highest voted match. This is the Cub Chews versus Grib. We're going to go into game 1. Now, game 1, Ryan, you take over the play-by-play, and then at the end, we'll talk about this matchup. All right?
All right, buddy.
All right.
So are you watching on slow or just normal?
Yeah, I'm going to put it on slow, and I'm going to count down 3, 2, 1, play. All right, so why did y'all pick this one again? Hey, I don't know. I don't know. The Discord voted, okay?
Yeah, 3, it's all based on votes, man.
2, 1, play.
All right. Starting off right off the bat with Sun, Vinoco, the Spanish players hate it, bro. And we have Vish and Illumise, Torco protects, Rain Dance, so it's just Fish is Rin, which is pretty safe. Kyoto weather. Vish gets put to sleep.
Okay. Got a nice
You're gonna
intimidate
switch
swap
out.
there.
The aromatherapy gonna wake Vish back up, and it's gonna be a one-shot. It's basically 300 base power. Intimidate's not gonna save it. And Venusaur is gonna sleep powder into goggles. That's so unfortunate. Heracross comes out. Stellar Terra. Tailwind. If you're gonna have another
That's so insane.
It's so tragic. Earth Power into Vish. Vish is pretty bulky, so it's not gonna do anything really. Clefairy comes back out. You're gonna have a switch for Nidoking. Fairy protects. Oh yeah. Rain Dance must have been reading the Torkoal switch, but it doesn't matter. This is gonna be another Oko. total of like 3 buttons have been clicked this game, honestly.
Grim with the
Big twerks
GG.
back in. There was a mixed up with some sand though, just due to that weather. And another Oko. Yeah, Giblets is just gonna eat that up easily. Basically just a rock weather power. And yeah, it's pretty much over because Venusaur is just gonna die. And so is Torkoal. Ooh, the rock slide comes out. No flinches at least. Weather Ball again does a bit more because I'm a dragon type now. And Protect. Earthquake. Pretty much suing up the game. Only Venusaur is left, but it's not going to be doing much. Solar Beam with Protect, that's unfortunate. And that's going to be game with an Iron Head to fill it up.
Grim, close one. Shout out to Grim for being a homie. So
Grim is the absolute king.
So my notes on that game, I have 2 notes. First of all, safety goggles, aromatherapy. That's the type of stuff where, like, you guys might say, like, oh, you know, he had rain, so that's why he won. No, he won because of stuff like aromatherapy safety goggles. That's such good prep. That's, like, such good tech, and that's something that I wouldn't have thought of. So that's really, really good.
I mean, basically what this match comes down to, it's like you either resist your opponent's strat and you win, or you don't resist it and you lose. Because, you know, obviously Venusaur sleeping everything and Torkoal's getting off eruption. You're just gonna not resist, you're gonna lose. But Cubchoo's had a plan, and you know, Grim and their team didn't really have a counter for just vicious Rin spam and rain, so pretty much uphill battle.
Yeah, that was going to bring me to my second note, and this is like a general thing for Draft League for everybody in chat. The thing about Weather Wars and the thing about a Draft League, everyone knows the weather is coming. So, like, Prankster weather is 100% better than just weather setters. In this setting, it's not really better in real VGC, because in real VGC, you're like having to fight a plethora of teams. But in a draft league, you know who you're playing. So it's like how back in the day, Mega Charizard could override anything because the way turn order works. Like, at no point was the Torkoal switch-in safe. So, like, if you're a weather user in our draft league, and, like, your opponent has Prankster, you have to plan for Prankster weather. Like, it's just, like, it's impossible to play around to some extent, so you just gotta either focus the Prankster user or just find a different strategy, you know what I mean? Like, think outside the box.
So, I would like to note, I know what you kind of touched on it earlier, John, but if you guys saw, I had a little comment calling both Grim and Ryan some just beautiful people, because they are. In the beginning of this match. So I happened to be in the bathroom at work, and I saw the live link and I clicked it, and I cannot stress enough to you guys, when I saw aromatherapy get clicked turn 2, I audibly squealed, because oh my god, that is such an inspired like little choice. And because like Ryan called it out, and you called it out too, John, if sleep spam is just gonna win this matchup. But you can't sleep spam if there's Prankster aromatherapy and your aromatherapy mon has safety goggles. That was, and you put it next to Dracovish. If you guys didn't know what Dracovish did, look at it. Oh god, he's a strong boy.
All right, cool. Let's go into
300 attack, pretty much.
All right, let's pull up into game 2. I'm gonna do the play-by-play for game 2 here. Everybody has a plan until their Pokemon gets punched in the face. Mike Tyson? Yeah, facts.
Fact.
All right, so let's pull up on game 2. So we got the Torkoal lead and the Venusaur again. All right, so we have Meowscarada as a switch up, but we still have Prankster.
You're on normal.
All right, so we have the immediate switch to Intimidate. We have the Rain Dance, and we have the U-turn. So Meowscarada did not like what it sees. It wants to bounce. So now we're bringing in the Candle. I think we were covering for maybe some type of eruption here, possibly. Now we're bringing in the Sand. And we have a swap to Clefairy. A lot of swaps going on here. Heracross Rock Slide's a good move here. Interesting to note, Heracross is faster than the Candle. I don't think that's always the case. Depends on trading. Gramble coming in, intimidates the Gigalith. We have Protect on Clefairy, Wide Guard for the Rock Slide, and then a Heat Wave. Okay, Gramble lives that. No birds. That's a pretty good turn for Grim. Unfortunately, oh, the Heat Wave doesn't pick up. Okay, so we do get a Crunch out into the Candle. We get Encore into Wide Guard. That was also an inspired play. Shout out to Clefairy outspeeding Gigalith, by the way. Excadrill in Sand. This is where it gets scary, but now we have Weather. And notice Illumise is not there, right? So the Weather is here to stay. So if Grim is going to push, it has to be now. Ryan makes a smart play. Just protect, get it a sweeper. Now he got back another Weather Setter. Grim sees it coming, gets rid of his Weather Setter, protects the Nidoking. Self-Earthquake here, but the Gigalith is so physically bulky, it kind of just eats it up. Alright, so Torkoal is in. This is going to give Venusaur a turn. We have Wide Guard, Sleep Powder. I would have went for the Excadrill there, I think. I would have went for, like, maybe a Grass move, some sort of Giga Drain or something into Excadrill. So this guy's asleep, swaps out for... Okay, Protect on the Drill. Lunge. I would have been interested to see how that speed interaction works. Or Earth Power into Excadrill last turn, actually. Yeah, here's Drought, switch in. This guy stays asleep. Solar... Oh, Solar Beam. That does not pick up. Earth Power actually would have maybe have been more damage. Actually, it's probably the same thing. Alright, so we get a double knockout here. It's coming down to the wire. Heracross, Nidoking on the last two. It just feels like Grim needed maybe some more speed control more than anything else. Gigalith is going to go down here. Ice Beam is interesting. But now we just get Tailwind, and that's GG. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so I think Grim did a really good job of making Game 2, like, way closer. He got really risky on the switches, but I think it paid off in some aspects. I think the truth of the matter is just Prankster Weather was always going to be a lot for the 6 Pokemon that Grim brought. It felt like either speed control or fake out control. There just needed to be one more thing to stop Prankster from just kind of like running away with it. But I still thought it was a good match. What do you think, Mox?
Yeah, it was definitely a good matchup, and it was a fun one to watch. You could see that Grim made a lot of adjustments in Game 2 that definitely helped benefit him and got him a lot farther than just getting slapped by fucking Dracovic the whole game.
Yep.
But I think you made some good call-outs when you had the... when you were doing the play-by-play, where like I think there needed to be a lot more focus on the Excadrill. You know, Gigalith is definitely like not a threat you could ignore, but if you think about it just sort of from like the balancing perspectives of the two mons, right? The Sandstorm is going to enable Excadrill to do crazy, absolute insanity. And Excadrill's a little bit bulkier on the special side than you have with Gigalith. So if you say put Excadrill to sleep, you could have just Solar Beam shenaniganed out Gigalith.
Yeah.
And tried to make sure you've done, you know, just something a little bit more. Because I think picking off the Weather Setter and getting yourself in that better position works out better than trying to mitigate Excadrill without the power to mitigate Excadrill in one shot.
I imagine Grim doesn't have Weather Ball with Venu. Yeah, I think the Earth Power was enough. I think Moxie is identified the correct turn. I think if that's Sleep Powder into Excadrill, and then on the next turn we can Solar Beam the Gigalith, and then do something else. I don't know if that gets the win, because you still have to deal with Tailwind Masquerade at the end, but it at least gets you like close to the finish line where maybe you could 50-50 it. But, yeah, I thought it was a good set. I think Grim, I just read the chat, and I realized Grim basically said what we're saying, which is I didn't prep for Illumise at all. That's exactly it. This was, like, if I had to pick an MVP so far out of the 2 games we watched, so far it's Illumise. Because, like, the Tailwind, the Rain Dance, the Aromatherapy, really cool shit. All right, so I believe...
Yeah, big Illumise plays for sure.
I believe the next one, it was a tie between me and Dragonite and what's the other one? That both got 10 votes?
Brio and Dozo. And as the man who's doing Game 1 commentary, I have already scrolled up to Brio and Dozo, so I think it should just be that one.
Okay, all right, sounds good. Let me find Bryu Dozo here.
May 8th at 10:35 p.m.
Okay, so I'm on May 7th, May 8th. Okay, so this is our first 3-game set. This is where we start getting spicy. Actually, yeah, if I remember correctly, this set was good as hell. Okay. All right, so Moxie, I'm going to do a countdown. 3, 2, 1, play.
Wait. Hold on.
Play.
Wait.
Yep,
Because last time you reviewed it on normal, do you want me to do it on normal or on slow?
If I did it on normal, that's my bad. I mean to put it on slow. That's my bad.
Cool. All right. Give me the countdown. Let me know.
All right, cool. All right, guys. So this is Don Dozo versus Bryu. And just looking at team preview, this looks like it should be a slaughter. But from what I know, this set is actually really freaking fun. All right, so 3, 2, 1, play.
Okay, so we're starting it off. We got Bryu leading with Quackquavel, Quack Norris, and Yanmega the Jet Li going up against Glimora, Dozo with no nicknames, and Ambipom. I figured Dozo would have some kind of horrible nickname. We see the double protect. Looks like we're probably trying to get some speed boost going on. We see the fake out going into Quack Norris. And we see Stealth Rocks. Okay, so we got some hazard play going on. I'm wondering if this Ambipom is going to be doing fake out last resort shenanigans. Terra Ground coming in from the Yanmega. There is a Protect coming out from Ambipom. And a Spiky Shield from Glimora. They are looking to do a little scouting. We see Terra Ground Terra Blast going into that Glimora slot. And a close combat into Ambipom. So now Dozo's got a little bit of information. Let's see what he winds up doing with it. Nothing is outspeeding. Oh, this terrible thumb is here. I hope it's immediately killed. We see Ghost type Ambipom coming through, a Tailwind coming up, and close combat going into that Ghost Terra.
That's huge.
We see Ambipom going for the last resort, doing so much damage into Quack Norris. Unfortunately, we see the speed advantage going into Bryu's side. We see the Air Slash and an Ice Spinner into that stupid thumb. Unfortunately, that is going to be the death of Quack Norris. Ambipom with the flinch, that's huge. Thumb clicks Leech Seed. It's gonna take some damage and just sit there.
Like a beast.
We see Darmanitan coming through. Darmanitan losing 25% of its health because of that Stealth Rocks. Non-VGC players are not ready for that. We see Air Slash going into the Ambipom, taking it out. Glimora taking that Flare Blitz to the face with a crit. Toxic Debris getting a little bit more hazards out there. And we get a little health recovery from Glimora. We see Darmanitan sitting there at 50%, and it has only done damage to itself. Spiky Shield coming through. Caracosta, what is Caracosta gonna go for?
Ruh-roh.
It's gonna get Flare Blitzed, eat that up with that 4 times resist. Caracosta clicking the Shell Smash at the end of Tailwind. Oh my lord, but the problem we have is that little Yanmega is so fast. Aqua Jet going into the Yanmega, picking it off. Caracosta said, I don't care about no speed. We see Flare Blitz going in, the final layer of Toxic Spikes coming up into the Darmanitan, now at 32% health. Yet again, it has not been hit. It is only doing self-damage. Appleton is here. We see Raichu coming in, getting absolutely hit by so many hazards. Oh, we see a 1 Protect coming out. We see the fake out into Caracosta. Flare Blitz to the Appleton, who is protecting itself. And we get a little bit of toxic damage into this Raichu to finish off the turn. Switch out into the Sinistcha to do a little bit of hospitality, I'm assuming. But hit by those toxic spikes, badly poisoned. Reflect coming through. We see Rock Slide. It is going to, oh my gosh, so much damage into Raichu. With the Apple Acid on the follow-up, knocking it out. Well, Sinistcha is sitting there with its ability to hit Caracosta for 4 times damage. I believe we're going to see Ryu try and go for that one. In comes Glaceon. Again, where you're looking at double 4 times damage threatened from Bryu's side. A Rock Slide destroying Glaceon through that Protect and the flinch. Oh my god, Bryu running into his absolute biggest enemy known as RNG here at the end of this game. Darmanitan at 7% health thanks to those Stealth Rocks. We see Aqua Jet knocking out the Darmanitan. Does Appleton have it in him to get that final bit of damage through? He is so chunky. Terra Blast, it's immune. Don Dozo pulled the Dozo there. Not understanding Terra Blast, you need to click the Terra first. We see the damage coming through from the Toxic, and the Aqua Jet will wrap this through for a thrilling game 1.
Okay, let me just say, Dozo is infamous for writing giant paragraphs of just absolute waste our time. Like this, like it just won't make no sense. Okay, but you know what? Dozo deserves a hand clap for that game one. What a masterpiece of fuckery. That is draft league right there.
That was an insane game.
So I love
Caracosta. No one ever saw that before.
Yep.
Yes. Dozo literally went and said, "We're playing a 6v6 doubles league. I'm gonna take 6 mons with single strategies, and I'm slapping them together, and I'm gonna try and see if nobody knows what I'm doing."
Yeah. That was a fun game one. Like, we'll see what the next 2 games look like, but like off rip, I just do think we should commend really offbeat strategies like that, because that definitely caught me off guard. I'm like, what is actually going on here?
It was 100% shenanigans. Stealth Rock Lamora is crazy. Exactly, Steve. Like, it's suddenly there's Stealth Rocks. Like, I know I called it out in the play-by-play, but we're talking Darmanitan was at 33% health by the end of hazards and recoil, and it was never touched. Dozo just sat there and was like, "Nah, this is my team."
Yeah, Paul, it's a fungus. Sorry, guys, I'm dying. Don't mind me. All right, guys, so next game up, I believe this is Ryan's turn for play-by-play. So I'm going to do a countdown. I'm going to put it on speed slow. All right, so we're going to do a 3, 2, 1, play.
All right, Dozo draws first blood, and we're on to game 2. We got Darmanitan, Sinistra, versus Glamora and Ambipom. Okay, we're gonna get a switch from the Darmanitan, break out into Glizion.
For 31%.
We're gonna get more Stealth Rocks. Ooh, Shadow Ball into Glamora, that hurts kind of. We're gonna get a Fungus switch, Protect from the Ambipom. Rage Powder, alright. Freeze Shroud, ooh, that's gonna hurt, yeah. Protect from Fungus and Rage Powder. Last resort. That's pretty unfortunate.
I'm gonna go at normal speed now.
Ooh, another Rage Powder is gonna come out. Shadow Ball Glaceon is insane. Gonna get the kill though. Now Caracosta's back in. Let's see if he can get another sweep. Terra Fairy from the Appleton. Ooh. Caracosta is brought down to its sturdy. And we have a burn on Appleton. Oh, well, no sweep this time. Dragon Pulse from Appleton into the Sinistra. Doing decent damage. Meganium, the Goat. Heal Pulse into the Appleton. Ooh, but Freeze Shroud's gonna come out. Yeah, these Ice Types are just deadly into Dozo's team. Fairy Terra Blast into the Sinistra. Okay, Leech, see that? Another Machigacha is gonna come out. That burns, that could be really bad. Okay, no burn, but Freeze Drive is gonna pick up anyway. Apple Acid into the Glaceon. Gonna drop us to death. That could be handy for later. And we have Glamora coming back out. It's gonna Spiky Shield. Okay, we've got a Protect from the Sinistra. A double Protect actually from the Glaceon. Oh, Terra Ice is ready to do some damage. Oh, but the Power Gem just knocks it out. It's unfortunate. And Glamora hangs on. Gonna live to see another day. And a critical hit with the Apple Asset. That could be important because Glamora is pretty strong. It might pick up this KO. Yeah, Mega's back out. Takes like 50%. Gonna get a Detect off though. Another double Protect. Okay. B boosting up. Spiky Shield. Okay, nice. Block the Air Slash. But Shadow Ball is gonna go into Appleton. It's gonna live though. Oh, and Appleton gets the crit. That's insane. Appleton's been doing work this match. Oh, but Darmanitan's here. It's definitely picking up the KO here. Yeah, it's just gonna zen into Glamora. It probably could have just flare blitzed and got the kill still. That's how strong it is. Yeah, single target Machi Gotcha. I think that's gonna be the end of Appleton pretty soon. The burn doesn't pick it up. Ambipom in the house. Fakes out. Fake out did 1,000,000%. What the heck?
Yeah, I saw that.
Ooh. Well, last man standing, last resort. Protect. Yeah, poor Ambipom. I think it's pretty much raw on his finish. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be game 2. Yeah, I think that game, those are really we couldn't get like after, and really all that really stacked up. And Machi Gotcha Baron was just fortunate.
Yeah, I think for me, I don't know if it was a conscious decision by Bryu, but Bryu realized the biggest hole in Dozo's prep. Like, as masterful as Game 1 was, the issue with the strategy Dozo put together is that if Bryu leads Sinisha and clicks Rage Powder every single turn, there's nothing Dozo could do. Because, like, unfortunately, the Ambipom is locked into normal moves. So that's the killer. So, like, having Fake Out protect Last Resort, it helped him win Game 1 because he was able to do huge damage with Last Resort. But had he had Knockoff, and maybe instead of Last Resort, it was just, like, Return, that's kind of, like, the difference. Because if Ambipom can't hit the Sinisha, I feel like the rest of this team just doesn't function. Because it's a bunch of grass types, and they just can't hit the Sinisha. So that's a huge adjustment there. It's a short sight on Dondozo's team building. It was still like a pretty well-played game, all things considered. But I think like his only hope was to send out the apple and to Dragon Pulse the Sinisha literally every single turn and pray. That was like pretty much it.
Yeah, and I think the other thing to
he
call
also
out...
could have kept it like Dragon type.
Yeah, so the other thing I think to call out, aside from what Ryan's mentioning, where you have tearing away from Rage Powder is not great in that scenario. But the problem Dozo's going to run into is if you look at his team, 4 of his Mons just cannot take a freeze dry. You know, like Glaceon next to Sinistra is damn near a death sentence for Dondozo. And as Bryu called out in the chat, one thing you cannot underestimate is Glaceon does have a very high special attack stat. It's just not very fast. But the only speed coming out of Dozo's side before a Shell Smash is on that Ambipom. And like John called out, Rage Powder, and then it can't hit anything.
Yep, absolutely. So I'm going to do the play-by-play for Game 3. Basically, to me, the only way Dozo could win is to figure out the Sinisha puzzle. We don't know his full sets, so maybe he has something. But if there's nothing for Sinisha, then we'll see. All right, here we go. I'm going to put this on slow, and I'm going to play. All right, let me lower down that volume. All right, so we have Yanmega, Quaquaval. See, this is Bryu being modest. I would have led Sinisha again. I'm just being honest with you guys. That shit would have been in the lead if it was me. Terra Groundo probably looking to snipe the Glamora. Ooh, Air Slash into Fungus. Okay. And Ice Spitter. Just deciding that, like, I'm not dealing with that. We do get an Effect Spore, which is kind of fun. We get a Moxie boost on the Quaquaval, which is also pretty scary. And now we have the speed boost here. Alright, so here comes Ambipom. I actually think Ambipom's a good switch in because the teacup isn't here. So we have a protect on the Yanmega. That makes a lot of sense. Just a double protect. He doesn't want Fake Out to ruin everything. Smart play. We know that Dozo is last resort, so we know he has to Fake Out. You do take some chip as punishment, but that should be okay. Grass Glamora. And then switching out to Meganium here. I think they're calling... I don't know what they're calling, honestly. Because it's a grass type into a grass type. Actually, if Glamora would have stayed in and attacked that turn, it would have got value. Alright, so here's the Tailwind. This should be CC or Ice Spitter. Okay, Ice Spitter into Meganium. I think I would have CC'd the Ambipom there. Like, if you're gonna Terra, give me your Terra nice and early. So I would have forced the issue. Leaf Storm into this guy, brings it down to Sash. That's actually pretty impressive since Meganium's a better starter than Triflosion. Oh, and here's the Teacup. See, this is what I mean. So now we have Ambipom and Meganium, and the Teacup clicks this, and it's just kind of GG's. Meganium OP, true. Look at chat just knowing everything. And this is the issue. Or maybe if we were even, like, safety goggles on Ambipom, that could have been, like, really cool. Like, imagine this was safety goggles. That would have been insane, yeah. I don't even know what item this guy is, to be honest. Have we seen his item? I wonder.
Dude, it's probably Silk Scarf knowing Dozo.
Yeah.
For that normal damage.
Yeah, and honestly, it was doing a lot of damage. But yeah, safety goggles would have been insane. Here's Raichu. There's the Caracasta. We have the Appleton. So, yep, just Rage. And I would, to be clear, I would be doing the same thing. Until you prove you can stop Rage Powder, I'm clicking Rage Powder every turn. Like, I need to see what you got. Shout out to Raichu not clicking an electric move there. Eats a Power Gem. This guy's going to go for a Matcha Gotcha. Definitely going to pick up the Caracasta here. No burn on Glamora. Yeah, I wonder if Glamora's last move is Mortal Spin. There should have been a Mortal Spin on the Teacup. I don't know if this Glamora has it, though. I don't think it does. But I definitely think Mortal Spin would have been, like, one of the few plays you have to get back into it. No, it doesn't. It has Spiky Shield. So that's the full set on Glamora. Interesting. There's Shadow Ball into Appleton. Gets a special defense drop. Apple Acid. Yeah, at this point, it's pretty much GG's, right? Because there's just no solution to Sinisha here. And it has lefties. Okay, this Raichu might not have any other move besides Knockoff. Which is, like, fine. He went for a support Raichu. So yeah, I would just be Giga targeting the Sinisha. So, actually, like, let's pause it there. I'm gonna do a quick pause. If that damage is into the Teacup and you kill the Teacup, all Bryu has left is Darm and Glaceon. At that point, you can like one-shot the Glaceon and hope that Ambipom lives a Darm move. Maybe not. Like, at that point, you're maybe calling a 50-50. I'm not too sure. But, like, you at least have, like, a chance to do something. But, yeah, you have to recognize that the Sinisha is just going to Rage Powder. There's a double Protect on the Fake Out turn. Because we know Darm doesn't have Protect. So, if you kill the Cup and you force out the Darm, Darm takes Toxic plus Stealth Rock. Then he takes Fake Out, which we know does 70% damage. And then Ambicom could Protect. There's actually a world where Dozo still wins. He would have had to kill the Sinisha there. If you guys see the vision.
Yeah, you know, all things... Dozo made it pretty close for having, like, 4 Moss weak to Ice.
Yeah, I think all things considered, he played great.
Like, ran away with everything.
Yeah, Teacup busted. Yep.
And yeah, Mortal Spin was like there because we could have poisoned Sinistra and it would have been having so much more pressure on it. Like Mortal Spin would have been godlike. I know he has like, I guess he figured he has like the residual attack or whatever. Like when you get hit, your defeat fly out. But I still think Mortal Spin would have been safe just so you can poison the lead while force pressure and stuff.
Yeah.
That was a fire set though, for sure.
It was a really good set. Dozo had a really fun strategy. I just wish Dozo had focused the Teacup a little bit more. Just put a little bit of pressure on Bryu to make the right decision. You know what I mean? And then safety goggles, Ambipom would have been sick. And maybe just not bringing 4 grass types. like maybe if this Fungus was just anything else. But to Bryu's credit, he made the adjustment. The Sinisha was a great bring. And that was a really good set. Really well played on both parts, IMO.
Yeah, the other thing that Dozo could have done to put more pressure, at least for what would have happened game 3, because Bryu didn't lead Teacup, if Dozo had led with the main strat, which is bring Caracosta, click Shell Smash, it's also a different ball game because Caracosta with +2, that's an actual threat into everything into Bryu's squad. But you know, once the teacup is already on the board and redirection's kind of gone, there's not too much that's going to stop Bryu from preventing that from happening.
So Bryu, but that's actually the point. If you Terra your teacup, the teacup is no longer immune. So yeah, I think he at least needed to put pressure. Okay, so the next match is myself versus Dragonite. I believe Moxie has the honor of calling game 1. I don't know if Dragonite's here in chat, but this is by far, and I'm not just saying this because Dragonite is my favorite person in the Discord, this is one of the most fun draft matches I've ever played. And I know Dragonite might slightly hate me on the low, but like I thought it was really, really fun. I thought Dragonite played great. I happen to feel that I played well. It was a really, really fun set. So Moxie, I'm going to put this on speed slow, and I'm going to give you a 3, 2, 1 countdown, okay?
All
right, so we're going to go 3, 2, 1, play.
Okay, so we have leading off Inteleon coming from Dragonite and Hariyama. So we are going to be able to see some fake out shenanigans into Decidueye and Salazzle, the prettiest girl on the field. We see fake out going into the Inteleon. We see a fake out going into Decidueye, and then nobody moves? Or is there a covert cloak? Nobody moves! Turn 1 is a wash. Focus sashes are broke. Hariyama is burnt. That is a Guts Hariyama coming through. Terra Fire from the Decidueye. Encore into the Hariyama. Hariyama is donezo. That air slash would have been doing crazy damage, but we do get a flinch from Decidueye. Let's see what we have coming in on turn 3.
That damn flinch.
Politoed coming in. We see the rain set up for the Inteleon. Protect coming in from the Inteleon as well. Scouting out the Sludge Bomb from Salazzle. Decidueye going for the triple arrows into Inteleon, protecting itself. Nothing is happening. We see Protect coming in from the Decidueye. An Encore going into the Inteleon slot. Inteleon stuck going for another Protect while Politoed clicks Icy Wind. Going for some speed control here. Dragonite forgetting the Encore, it seems. We see a swap out into the Kabutops, major aura. Encore into the Politoed, locking it into more Icy Wind. Let's see, this Decidueye does not hold a clear amulet because he's holding lefties. Seed Bomb, Kabutops is gone. At -2, it is outsped. It almost feels like this Kabutops does not have Swift Swim. We see Inteleon coming back out. We see the -2 and a -1. We see an Intim coming out from the Overquill. No drop on the Decidueye. We see a swap into the Quillfish. Terra Dragon going for the snipe shot. Salazzle is gone. Knowing Quillfish, looking at Overquill, I have a theory about who's coming out. Nope, it is Decidueye, maybe. The swap into the Dusclops. We see the Scope Lens and the Clear Amulet. Let's see, this Quillfish goes for the Splosion. Inteleon's down. Overquill's hanging on by a thread. Dragonite is probably furious as he clicks Swords Dance with very little health left. We see Dusclops now chilling with full health. Amoongus is here. Decidueye is back. Crunch going into the Decidueye, taking it out. Let's see what we see from Dusclops. We see a Spore going in. Dusclops is probably not going for that Trick Room anymore. Coming out, we see Araquanid. Araquanid is a bulky boy, however, when he manages to hang on, Liquidation knocking out the Overquill. Amoongus is going for a failed Pollen Puff into the other side. He was expecting that to be a one-shot. Araquanid built different. We see the Protect coming from the Araquanid. Let's see what Hariyama is clicking. Fake out into the Araquanid. Amoongus going for Rage Powder. Dusclops, Sleepy Boy.
3 turns.
We see the Rage Powder from Amoongus yet again. The knockoff into the Araquanid. Dusclops, are you gonna wake up, buddy? He is up. Let's see the Trick Room. Taunt into the Amoongus. And in comes the Ice Cream Cone. So now we have Battle Amoongus and Guts Hariyama versus Dusclops and the Ice Cream. There goes the Snow from Politoed switching in. Protect coming in from Vanillux. Close combat. What is Dusclops going to go for? Nightshade into the Hariyama. Let's see what we have coming in here for this next turn. Hariyama looking pretty, but Mungus is back in, ready to soak up those hits. Eating that Weather Ball up. He is the bulkiest mushroom. Another Icy Wind. If that is the only attacking move from Politoed, this is going to take a long time. We see Trick Room coming through. A Protect on the Politoed. Let's see what we see from the Vanillux here. We see the Taunt into the Amoonguss. Amoonguss was going for the Spore. He has been undersped. Freeze Dry coming out into the Politoed slot. Let's see if Dragonite makes another switch back out into that Hariyama. Nope, we see the Nightshade going into Politoed. We see the Pollen Puff into the side. Vanillux going for a Weather Ball. It is resisted into that slot. I see there was a possible prediction for that Hariyama switch, and the Scald Burn into that Vanillux. A little bit of Lefty's recovery. There is still 2 turns of Trick Room left with this super slow Amoonguss. Getting undersped by Dusclops. Politoed getting its health back from its buddy. We see the Blizzard coming through. John is done with that mushroom. Scald into the Vanillux, doing so much damage, eating the Citrus Berry, getting that health back. The rain has stopped. We have 1 turn remaining on Trick Room. Here comes the Hariyama. We can see a fake out going into that into that Vanillux, but we don't. Instead, we see the Freeze Dry into the Politoed. Knockoff into the Dusclops. A crit, almost just obliterating that stupid Ghost. The Scald picking up the final with that burn. Dragonite Kid takes game 1.
Dude, I almost wonder if that crit mattered, because like Dusclops is pretty bulky.
So I'll tell you, crit mattered because like Dusclops is incredibly bulky. Although this is Hariyama with guts, so don't get me wrong. But crit did matter. I'll tell you where I lost this game. There's actually 2 turns that like were big momentum shifters that I still could have 3 actually, because I'm just now realizing in this last turn, if I would have just doubled Harry, Dusclops probably would have just beat the Politoed. But the turn where Amoonguss outsped Dusclops and spored me, on that turn I was going for taunt into Amoonguss, and in my brain, Dusclops was faster. It was just a knowledge gap. Like, I forgot that Dusclops is actually slower than Amoonguss. Because my stupid VGC brain is like, oh, Amoonguss, that's the slowest Pokemon in the universe. Meanwhile, that's, like, not true. So, like, that turn was like a backbreaker. I had to realize that Amoonguss was faster, and he just straight up spored me. And then Dusclops stayed asleep for 3 turns, so that was brutal. And then also at the very beginning when Air Slash flinched Decidueye was going for Seed Bomb into Inteleon, which would have been a 1-hit knockout as well. So like those 2 things were pretty rough, but if I had known Dusclops was slower, I think I would have played better. But props to Dragonite. He made a lot of switches that caught me off guard. Moxie, you were 100% correct. I was calling the switch when I weatherballed. In hindsight, that should have always been Freeze Dry, because even Freeze Dry into Hariyama would have been fine. But I was trying to get a little cheeky, and Dragonite punished me. So he played really, really well. And I messed up with the Amoonguss Dusclops like interaction. That's where I kind of messed it up.
Yeah, it was.
All right, so game 2 will be Mr. Ryan. 1, 2. Let me set this up. I'm going to put it on speed slow, so make sure it's slow, Ryan. And then I'm going to do a 3, 2, 1 play. Yep. Carly, I just got 20 plus kills in Unite Ranked. Bruh. Was it your first ranked game in mad long? Because you was playing some robots. Dusclops needs to run Hex instead of Nightshade. If I was Will-O-Wisp, the problem with Will-O-Wisp is Hariyama's guts. So I just had no reason to bring Wisp, to be honest. All right, so I'm going to do a 3, 2, 1 play. Let's go, chat. 3, 2, 1, play.
All right, they say when it rains, it pours. So let's see if D-Knight can clutch up this victory. We got Hariyama and Inteleon versus Quillfish and Dusclops. All right, Chris coming out. We know his items already. Focus energy from Inteleon need those big sniper crits, and a flip turn into Hariyama. That did 1,000,000%. What in the world? We're
So
gonna
that's
go right back into Araquanid. We have a knockoff into the Dust Clock, so it's gonna set up a trick room. Let's see if we can get anything done here. Okay, Amoonguss comes out. Protect on Inteleon is gonna stall those trick room turns. Nightshade into Amoonguss, doing decent damage. And Liquidation, that's alright. Chip is chip. Amoonguss is gonna go out into Overkill for Intimidate. Protect from there, walking it. And a taunt into Overkill, that could be useful. Oh, but Snipe Shot is going to destroy Dusclops. That sniper ability. Quillfish comes back out. Wide guard. Oh, crunch. And
Moxie.
He's gonna get Majin Vegeta again.
Poor dragon.
Okay, Decision Life coming back out. Amoonguss. Rage Powder. Oh, but the goggles coming in clutch. Liquidation is gonna send that thing to hell. Triple arrows to lower Amoonguss' defense. That could come in handy later. Utops is back on the field. We're gonna get a switch for the weather. Terra Fire and Kabutops. Terra Grass and Araquanid. Oh, Stone Edge crit. D-Knight is really in those crits today.
Bruh, he was critting me so much.
Tailwind though. Okay, we're gonna get weather back though on John's side. It's gonna be okay. Switch back for Hariyama. Gonna protect for the Kabuto. It's gonna want to preserve it for when he gets rain back up. The Blizzard comes out. Ooh, Hariyama's done here. The burn surely picks up after a turn or two. Okay, it's hanging on, but it still has breakout pressure, so it could be nice. Protect from Vanillix. Double protect, nice. Pretty safe play. Let the Hariyama just kill itself without having to take damage from anything. Oh yeah. The Decidueye definitely may have gone down if that were another crit. We're gonna regain control of the weather here with Politoed. We're gonna have another switch out into Stellazo, keeping that weather for later. Helping Hand. Oh, Liquidation does like 300% minimum, not gonna lie, but it's got a focus fast, so it's gonna live. The Seed Bomb comes out right into Politoed. Not quite, but it's a lot of good damage. Amoonguss comes back. Protect on Kabutops. Gonna fake out onto the Moon. Another Tailwind. Ooh, fail protect. Endeavor, that is insane. Citrus Berry's gonna bring it back up though. Triple arrows, very good damage, but just not quite enough. They're low though. Oh, Pollen Puff finishes off Forest Lazo. This has done its job, bro. Amoonguss is an annoying threat. And from here, he's just gonna have Vanillix, but it's gonna be another switch, and now it's just gonna be rain for the rest of the game. Another protect from Kabutops. But Freeze Dry is gonna send this Politoed to the Focus Center. Okay, now we have Amoonguss back out. Let's see what happens here. Protect. Own Edge to the Protect. Good start. And Triple Arrows is gonna pick this up. I think this is pretty much one from here. And yeah, Freeze Dry is just gonna obliterate it. So we're on to game 3. Let's see. John can rain on Dragonite's Parade. Let's go.
Yeah, so for me, just to give you guys like the inside thought, the biggest adjustment for me was two things. A, Amoonguss is really hard for me to remove, and then B, if I kill the Hariyama or the Kabutops, his damage into like Decidueye kind of falls off a bit. So like that, those are like basically the two things that I had in my mind turn to turn. It's like, okay, How can I always maintain some form of pressure if Amoonguss comes in? And can I get Hariyama and Kabutops out of there? I will say turn 1, Quillfish flip turn into Hariyama. I was not expecting 50%. Like, low-key, when I saw that, I was like, wait, so, like, I could have just liquidationed for, like, 90? So I was kind of upset at myself a little bit, but I'm really surprised Quillfish did that much. All right, let's pull.
Yeah, I think
3.
Hariyama's got like 55 defense or something.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought he was a bulky boy.
Yeah, no, so the thing about Hariyama,
He's got
guys,
a lot of HP, that's the thing.
yeah, he's got a lot of HP. He also sucks. So if you don't have him as thick fat, boy is taking no hits, and he's only taking hits against the things he has thick fat on.
Yeah, he hits like a truck though. Like, it was so scary. Whenever Dragonite had Hariyama out, I was like, well, now I just pray.
I also think what became a problem for Dragonite at the end was when it came down to you only having a couple of like attacking mons left, he kept focusing your supports. I think he was like looking like, okay, like he kind of kept targeting down the ice cream cone is like one of my main examples, while the Decidueye was just sitting there. And it's like, you kind of need to double the Decidueye at this point, especially because your Kabutops, from the moves we have seen, does not have any kind of neutral damage to hit into it. Both of his moves that we saw, we've seen Liquidation, we've seen Stone Edge, we've seen Protect. Those are only going to hit it for not very effective damage.
Yeah.
And Amoonguss is not Battle Amoonguss. So he needed to focus up more on your actual attackers, especially because at the end game there, which you had set up very well, John, is Kabutops just could not handle what was left there on his own, and he was the main attacker left.
Yeah, for sure. And I think there's a part of this game where, like, like, I'm making plays into my fear, which is Amoonguss, and I'm realizing that he's not identifying Decidueye as kind of like the issue, you know what I mean? So it comes into play a little bit here in game 3, although I will say there's a lot of luck that's about to happen on both ends. So this game's pretty fun. So I'm going to do the play-by-play for game 3. I'm going to go ahead and just click play with no 3, 2, 1. All right, so turn 1. And at this point, I went boom twice. Now, last game, I went flip turn, and then I went boom later. So I know this is like the classic boom plus trick room. So it's like, all right, I can obviously boom trick room, but Dragonite knows. How does Dragonite punish it? Well, he could just spore the Dusclops, or he could double protect, but then I get the trick room, right? So it's like the classic 50-50. But I just like had a feeling that I really, really wanted to boom because Inteleon could never kill the Quillfish. So I felt like it was really safe, and I guess we'll play a turn, but spoilers, it's really funny. So we got the Protect from Inteleon, which is the correct play. I'm excited because I just Terra Normaled Choice Band 252 attack explosion. This Amoonguss is going to die. I'm going to get Trick Room. We are so lit. Oh! 4%! I was heartbroken. I was so sad, dude. That was Terra Normal. I even put in chat, it was fun, boys. I was so cooked. So at this point, I'm just struggling. I did bring in Salazzle, so Dragonite was playing around Encore. If you guys are wondering why the random protects, it's because Dragonite is trying to play around Encore, so I understand it. So like that's kind of like the head games of knowing that Encore is here. So now we have Politoed, which I want to chip it down because it's his weather center. Scald into Araquanid. I figured I'd bring him in because Trick Room is up and he resists everything. We live a crit on Inteleon, which is kind of insane. This thing's a demon. But now I have a clear line, which is Araquanid attacks Politoed, and I Pain Split the Inteleon. He goes for Double Protect, which is the correct play. Dragonite is stalling Trick Room. He's doing the right thing. And now he knows my play. But the thing is in my mind, this play works no matter what. Because even if you switch someone in, which he did, I'm still getting Pain Split. Here's where things get awkward. I have a -1 Araquanid, and I kind of have a decision to make. Like, do I swap it or do I leave it in? Because rain is up, I decide I want to just leave this guy in. He goes for Scald, which is 20% damage into Dusclops here. We have 1 turn of Trick Room, so it's very easy for him to just double protect. I maybe should have swapped out the Araquanid here, but, you know, hindsight is 2020. Alright, so there's a Liquidation. Trick Room is over. Now Dragonite is in control. So let's see. Honestly, I don't even remember what happens here. Okay, Amoonguss comes in. And then I bring in the Decidueye. He crunches into Decidueye, which resists. This Decidueye is really bulky, and I have leftovers. So Liquidation into Overquill. So this is the part of the game where Moxie kind of already saw this. And it's when I realized, if I have Safety Goggles Araquanid, and I have Grass Decidueye, Amoonguss is no longer a threat. Like, it is, but it isn't. There's really not much to do as long as nothing's threatening the Decidueye. However, what I didn't realize is what's about to happen to me, LOL. So here comes Hariyama. There's a Protect on the Quill. So I set up a Tailwind here. Liquidation into the Overquill. I thought I was gaming. Alright, so now we're starting to heal, but now Hariyama has Fake Out Pressure. So here comes Amoonguss back in. Fake Out Pressure into the Decidueye. Last game, Dragonite didn't Fake Out, so I wanted to take advantage and see if I could get a little cheeky. But Dragonite made the right play. He called me out on my shit, and he hit me with a Fake Out. So I deserve that. So here's the triple arrows into Hariyama. I do get the defense drop, which is a high probability, but I also got the crit. I don't think crit mattered because of defense drop. Here's where Dragonite forgot about Safety Goggles. He went for Spore into Araquanid. So now I'm officially back in it. I needed Dragonite to mess up a little bit, and I got pretty lucky there. So now there's 1 turn left to Tailwind. He double protects. This is where Dragonite saw a play that I didn't see, and he takes control of the game here. And I feel so dumb for not seeing it. So this turn, the Overquill just straight up gunk shots my Decidueye. I forgot that that dude is poison. Completely forgot. He literally clicked gunk shot, and I was sitting down on my couch, and I was like, fuck! Because I forgot that he was a poison type. And I was so mad at myself. I'm like, oh no, I'm so cooked. But here comes Kabutops with the double protect. Once again, he might be playing around Fake Out, but now he plays into the Encore 50-50. So now everything's just kind of like a guessing game, right? So here comes Politoed. He gets his Regenerator, which is a good play by Dragonite. Liquidation into Salazzle. He breaks my Sash. He's faster than me. And then now, I don't even remember. Yeah, I Sludge Bomb the Politoed. This means I now have Weather Control, which is pretty important. Liquidation into the Kabutops here. And now I've realized I have Weather Control, so I have some interesting plays I can make. I bring in the Vanillux on that slot. I'm pretty sure he's not going to Stone Edge a Salazzle because it has a chance to miss. So he Stone Edged the Araquanid, and he did miss. So that was unfortunate for Dragonite. I do think even if the Stone Edge connects, I still have Dusclops and some other stuff here. But the game's not over yet. So here we have Air Slash into Araquanid. Blizzard comes out, does a lot of damage to the Amoonguss. And I think I get Spored here? Yeah, so he Spores Vanillux, which is a good play. So now this game is going to come down to how sleepy is Vanillux. Air Slash kills the Araquanid. Vanillux takes a guaranteed turn of sleep. And he heals the Inteleon. So Dragonite's doing the right thing. Here I have Fake Out Pressure, which I could use to give my Vanillux one more turn. Instead, I Sludge Bomb. I don't even remember that. I kill the Amoonguss. He kills the Salazzle. Now Vanillux has a chance to wake up. And then Freeze Dry always picks up from here. And then that's a GG's. So, yeah. Like I say, there was RNG on both sides of Game 3. I made a huge mistake on turn 1. I thought Explosion would kill. It didn't. And then Dragonite sporing into Araquanid gave me, like, the door I needed. And then we kind of just had, like, a lot of 50-50s. But it was really fun. Like, it was, like, this was probably one of my favorite sets. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was a tough ending game, too. Props to you for being able to navigate that. Get the win there. It's just a
especially
really
after
tough struggle for both of you, especially with the weather. Oh yeah, you're lucky that he wasn't like Rocky randomly, because if you did Fake Out, you would have like instantly die. But I think Vanillux probably could have 2v1 because it's reasonably bulky. As you saw, like one shot thing on. But it's a fire in game though.
Yeah. I was thinking in my back pocket, if this guy stays asleep, I'm pretty sure Inteleon doesn't two-shot me because I'm Citrus. So in my brain, I'm like, Inteleon probably hits me into Citrus, like, you know, kind of that kind of thing. But yeah, really well played. So we have one game left, gamers. This is PokeNerd versus Kiramis, right? Yes, yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure. Double check.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, perfect. So, Mox, you will take over game 1 here. From what I remember, this set is also, like, insane. So, let's go game 1. I'm going to put it on...
Hold on. I need to pull it up. You're going too fast, John. You're going too fast.
I'm not pressing play.
You're going too fast.
All right, so this is PokeNerd versus Kiramis. This got the most votes. So this was probably the most fun set of the week. So shout out to these two trainers for getting the most votes. I am going to do a 3, 2, 1 countdown. Moxie, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So actually, let me lower the volume so I don't blow everybody's eardrum again. All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Okay, so we have Kiramis going against PokeNerd. We have a lead of Mamoswine and Soul, the Earthworm from Kiramis side, and Indeedee and Swampert from Nerd side. Let's see where we're going. This seems like a pretty favorable lead with Swampert here, but we see a Protect coming out from Swampert. Earthquake going off for free because of that Earth Eater. Indeedee lives it very well. Flash Cannon is an interesting call. We see the Trick Room coming out from Indeedee. We see Terra Electric coming out from the Earthworm and a power-up punch going into the Mamoswine power-up punch. A great little move there. We see a crit from that Flash Cannon into Indeedee with a Healing Wish. I am a little perplexed by the Healing Wish considering there's no damage in the back. We see Protect coming out. We see Power Up Punch again going into the Mamoswine. We see Breloom going for the Drain Punch to finish off the Mamoswine on that Protect turn.
Shout out to Breloom, best Pokemon of all time.
We have Toxic Orb, so we are looking at a Poison Heal Breloom. In comes Grimmsnarl. The Fake Out not going to connect with the Psychic Terrain. The Liquidation deleting that Earthworm. Oh my lord. Stone Edge going in, doing a great chunk of damage into the Grimmsnarl. In comes Shiinotic. There comes Escavalier on the last turn of Trick Room. We see Terra Fire into that Swampert. Light Screen coming out of the Grimmsnarl. Spore going into the Swampert slot. Swampert is going to be a sleepy boy. Now we have a Protect coming out from the Shiinotic. Smart move because it has the speed of about 2. We see the Parting Shout going into Escavalier, lowering its attack to switch into Emboar.
Which is named
Sleepy
Almond
Swampert
Milk.
still. I'm allergic to him. We see the Iron Head going into the Shiinotic slot. Swap into the Basculegion, the Sacrificial Dagger. Oh my god. Armarouge is here. Armarouge eating that Power Punch. Do we see a weak armor? Nope, we see a traditional Armarouge and a sleepy Swampert. Swampert is woken up for a Protect. Now, what do we see coming out from that Armarouge slot? We see Shadow Ball going and deleting Armarouge. This is the female Basculegion. It is a very powerful special attacker. For those of you who do not know, Escavalier is back. Escavalier has to be ready because that is a Emboar ready to Flare Blitz it into next week. But there's a Drain Punch instead. We see Escavalier going for the Drill Run, doing so much damage into Emboar. Escavalier, one of those really strong Pokemon you don't see too often. We see the Protect from the Escavalier slot. Slowking is going to get, hit super hard by that Shadow Ball. Doesn't matter what your special defense is when it's super effective. We see Slowking going for the Scald, not finishing off that Light Screen, putting in the work, leaving it at 4%. Shadow Ball taking out the Slowking, and the Drain Punch knocking out the Escavalier. You have a little bit of health left on this Almond Milk, but it's 4 against 1 lone Breloom.
Come on, Breloom,
we see the Grimmsnarl switching in. Breloom getting flare blitzed into next Tuesday. There he goes. Goodbye.
Bro, let me just say, I like how nerds say it's time for shenanigans and immediately kills his Indeedee. How does he do? How does he do it?
Yep.
That boy just cold like that.
Yeah, my man said, I'm gonna click Healing Wish, and I don't know if Nerd knew that it would not go into the other slot, or if Nerd is just built like that, man. You know?
Yeah, that was a fun first game.
I'll give you a handicap. Let's go.
Yeah, I think what stuck out to me is Bastion Legion, pretty freaking strong. Bastion Legion,
yeah, Bastion Legion,
yeah, that adaptability hits, bro.
Yeah, that thing is strong.
You have such a crazy amount of power coming out of Bastion Legion, especially on the special side. Very interesting to see a special attacking Orthworm. Its offenses are not very strong on either side, but opting for the -20 special attack, I'm curious to know what the prep for that would be, especially since Zerd is a pretty bulky special attacking team.
Yeah, I'm definitely glad you called that out because it's probably gonna come back here. But yeah, guys, chat, if you're here and you're listening, make your Orthworms physical, please. Unless your opponent has 16 Incineroars, just make the dude physical. I will say, shout out to both coaches for bringing a starter Pokemon with Power Up Punch. I think that's cold.
Yes, Power Punch is a long forgotten tech at this point, and it's just so good.
It's good, yeah. All right, so game 2, this is going to be Ryan's play-by-play. Ryan, I'm going to do a countdown. I put it on speed slow. So we're going to go 3, 2, 1, play.
All right, our boy Nerd is down, which you can never count on Side Spam. We're going to have Embor and Grimmsnarl versus Indeedee Female.
Oh, there's
and your boy himself, Armor Rouge. Here it is. Time to sweat. Terra Fairy right off rep. Let's see if it makes a difference. Follow me. Okay, light screen. That was a good play. Wild Charge. Not doing quite enough. It's a 3-hit KO maybe, and a Trick Room goes up. All right. Embor's gonna get out of there for Earthworm. Great switch. But as Cavalier is gonna come out. Okay, the Terra Graph. Parting shot. Ooh, but it gets blocked by terrain. Oh, okay. Critical miss on the Earthworm with Heat Wave. No, Kira's gonna get blocked again. And the Iron Head just takes out the poor Grimmsnarl. It is pretty hard to see terrain with Trick Room up.
Yo, low key.
And then that. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna get the Mushroom guy out here. Oh, well, goodbye, Mushroom guy. That's Iron Head. And that Earth Power into S Cavalier, not gonna do quite as much as he hoped, as Orthworm hoped, but let's see. Embor's back out, along with Basque Legion Female. Oh my god, S Cavalier is just popping off. Oh no, okay. We could do something here. Trick Room's almost over. Insane Ice Beam, that did a lot of damage. Alright, let's see if Mamoswine can carry it. The world champion after all. Okay, Big Perk comes out. Ice Beam doing literally nothing. Heavy Slam, nah, it's gonna be resisted. Probably could have been reading a switch. This Iron Head's just been going crazy all game. Alright. Ice Beams to protect. Icicle Spear. Okay. Okay. Oh, Figgy Berry. It is Ask Cavalier is here today. And Iron Head, once again, magic move this game. See if Kira can take one down. Ice Beam. Alright, gonna be a 6-0. Pokenerd says stop playing with me and let us start spam. He's ready to play.
Yeah, so that was a wipeout, but I think the 2 parting shot turns on the Grim. Obviously Kira didn't realize the interaction with Psychic Terrain. It's okay, it happens to everybody. Also, I just dropped something. Give Give me 1 second, guys.
John just breaking his desk in the middle of making a point.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what just happened.
But to quickly
Bro,
cut
but
John
I
off.
swear, Psychic Spam is so hard to see. Psychic Terrain is so hard to see when Trick Room goes up, because all you see is the Trick Room effect.
In Showdown, it is the most obnoxious thing to try and notice because it just like all blends together when you have that terrain up. But shout out to Escavalier. Like I said in the last commentary, man, if you're not ready for that mon, he hits like a truck and he's so bulky. I think his only bad stat is speed. And if you're playing filthy Psy Spam in Trick Room, that's just an advantage for you.
Yeah, quote unquote bad stat. My man's a world champion. Well, runners up. I think he's a world champion. You gotta watch out for him.
Yeah, I think Escavalier is a world champ. What I was gonna say, on those party shot turns, if just one of those party shots was a reflect, I actually think Pokénerd could live through, like, for example, when Shynotic comes in, it probably lives if Reflect is up, and now since Shynotic is slow as molasses, it could either sleep the Escavalier or it could, like, kill the Swampert. So even though it kind of looked like a wash, like, you gotta remember, with games like this, one turn could change everything. It didn't have Reflect. Yeah, if you're gonna run Light Screen, run Reflect. Don't be sneaky. Just run both. Always run both.
You have Grim on your team.
I can see an argument, maybe if he doesn't have any physical bonds, but yeah.
Yeah, but there's a Swampert,
if you're looking at
Escavalier.
Yeah, if you're looking at having a Grim on your team, you just run both screens. I don't care.
Yeah, same. Especially as Draft League. Like, yeah, you're probably afraid of Psy Spam, sure, but that's only 2 mods. It's still like a 6v6, you know?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, we're looking at a league that is base 530 and below. Like, you put up a screen, man, and they're all going to sit there and go, I can't hurt anything. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think, if anything, screens might be a little OP, so I wonder if teams are just going to start using it more as the season wears on. But I definitely agree with Moxie. Like, given the power scaling of this league, screens are probably a bit OP. But this is game 3. I am going to go ahead and put it on slow mode, and I'm going to start us up and give us the play-by-play here. Alrighty. So drop the volume a bit.
All right, take us home, John.
Yes, sir. So we got Shynotic and Almond Milk, who is the best nickname so far, versus Indeedee Armarouge. So we have Psy Spam as the immediate threat. There's no Dark type, so I'm wondering if this is just Expanding Force. Flare Blitz into Indeedee does a ton of damage, to be fair here. Spore into Indeedee, okay. And then Trick Room. So Trick Room goes up, but you know what? Yum Heart looks good here. Is this a Spore into Armarouge? It goes into a Grass type. That's a good play. But at least you force the Terra, and sometimes that can be worth it. Wild Charge into Armarouge there. I probably would have opted for like a Power-Up Punch or something. And here's Expanding Force. So Almond Milk is gone, but that's okay. Trick Room's still up. You could probably work with that. Okay, Basculegion in Trick Room in front of a Breloom. So that's probably going to be a little tough here. We did Shrimp Sap the Breloom, so this guy lives. Expanding Force, and now he's dead. Yeah, I would have saved the Basculegion for post-Trick Room turns. Here's the Mammo. Once again, I would have went Orthworm or Grimmsnarl probs. Drain Punch into Mammo does about half, and then this is probably just E-Force again. Oh, it's a Heat Wave. That makes sense, too. Yo, Mammo lives. Shout out to Thick Fat. Holy, dude. What a goat. I was not expecting that live. I actually forgot about that. Holy shit, Mammo. What a beast. Alright, so Escavalier is here. Yeah, I would have put that thing to sleep. I mean, it does resist Iron Head, so I definitely get that play. Drain Punch into the Mammo here. Now Trick Room is over, but now only the slow mons are left. Escavalier is slower than the Amoonguss. I mean, than the other guy. Interesting. Well, I guess it depends on EVs too. I would have put this thing like minus speed nature. Drain Punch into Orthworm. Here's the Grimmsnarl. Spirit Break is actually really, really good here. It does a ton of damage. Holy. Alright, so now... See, like here, Reflect probably would have been really good. This thing stays asleep. What's Orthworm going for? Flash Cannon into a DD. I would have targeted Breloom because the DD's just there not doing nothing. Drain Punch gets him a little bit of healing. And then here's Spirit Break probably, right? Okay, so that's a 2-person knockout. The game is now officially a 3v3. It's not over. But the problem is how do you kill a Scavalier, right? Maybe if this Orthworm had Body Press, but that's going to be the main issue here. Yeah, I know, Carly. I'm just saying this is like where Reflect pays off. Alright, so Power Up Punch into Protect, Iron Head into... Oh, no, he's faster. So you were incorrect. He's not slower. This guy just outsped him. So yeah, Spore was the play. He does get the Effect Spore Para, which does open the door for Para hacks. It was a switch? Was that? I mean, yeah, you're just gonna lose your Mon, but I guess. Yep, Iron Head just kills. I would have loved to have seen, like, random fire moves on some of these Pokemon. Because, like, Lord knows, if you have a Scizor and I'm playing you in Draft League, I want you to know all 6 of my Pokemon are gonna know a fire move. And that shit's gonna be mad random. Like, you would be mad as hell when Dusclops pulls up with Fire Blast. Alright, leftovers healing into the Orthworm. This poor worm is all alone. I do love Orthworm, though. What a silly guy. And Liquidation is going to go ahead and finish it off, and that's a GG. So, yeah, I think this match came down to, more than anything else, Escavalier was just a demon. Like, an absolute demon. It had the type advantage. Kiramis didn't have too many checks to it. Like I said, Reflect would have helped, but it doesn't 100% mean it saves them. So yeah, that just comes down a little bit to the preparation, not having fire types to cover for it. But shout out to PokeNerd for bringing the Escavalier and just seeing how much value this Pokemon has. Because this guy is really, really strong, and I'm glad that PokeNerd got to, like, show it off. You know what I mean? Like, it deserved that.
Yeah, just it was a fun set all around, you know. Especially like you said, watching this Cavalier just do his thing is always just so much fun to see. Brother has a 135 attack and 105 in both defenses. He's just gonna sit there, be bulky, and try and avoid fire for his life.
I will run natural gift Aquaberry.
Never die and just smack you back.
What happened, Ryan? My fault.
No, I'm just saying, Escavalier is just gonna sit around forever, never dying, but it's gonna just slap you back with so much damage.
Yeah.
135, that's like Paradox Pokemon levels right there.
Yeah, this thing's a demon. Like, if you look at its base stat total, technically it's low, but that's because it literally has no speed. If you ignore speed, this thing is like a pseudo-legendary. Like, it's very strong.
Strong? Yeah, for sure. I think you can exploit it. I think you can exploit some of its weaknesses for sure. I think it's definitely where it's supposed to be. Just a overall really solid Pokemon.
Yeah, I agree. But well played to PokeNerd. That was a really, really good week 1. All right, so we have some decisions to make, and I'll put it in the Discord for all the people that are not awake right now. I know a lot of people are sleeping, lurking, different time zones. I get it. But let's pick our 3 categories, and then I'll throw it into the Discord officially for everybody. We're going to start with best prep. So for this one, I'll start. For the other 2, you guys can start. I think best prep, from what I saw, is probably going to go to Rocco. And I'm not even saying that because they're on the call. I just think, like, bringing a safety goggles Illumise with aromatherapy, Tailwind, Rain Dance was like, at that point, Ryan would have had to just click the wrong buttons to lose because the prep was, like, so good, you know? I also think, shout out to Meldy. I don't want to take away from Meldy's prep either because going all in on Discharge, but I think because Meldy had to prep against 6 water types, I give the edge to Ryan. But I'm open to what you guys think about it. What do you guys think for best prep?
So, I mean, I'm just gonna agree with you, right? Because again, watching through all the games this week, nothing made me jump out of my skin more than seeing aromatherapy get clicked to wake up Dracovish for Dracovish to then 6-0 sweep. Like, there's not much more I could really say. It was just, he's gonna click sleep powder. If he clicks sleep powder, I'm gonna wake up and I'm just gonna start killing things, and you can't stop me.
Yeah. All right, cool. So I think we're in agreement. It looks like Bryu agrees as well. And this is one of the 5 matches we've seen today. Yeah, we saw all 5. Yep. This last match is the one that received the most votes. I mean, I thought it was a really fun match. Like, I think there was some off plays on both sides, but overall it was fun. And I think all the Pokemon that
that makes it more fun, though.
What makes it more fun, you say?
No, the wrong plays
you
make
know
it more fun.
Oh, yes. Yeah, 100%. The only thing about this game that wasn't fun is the fact that Indeedee Armarouge was here. But other than those 2, everything else was fun. So I'm not mad at this getting voted. Okay, so best prep, we're going to go with the Cubchoo's. All right, MVP Pokemon. Which Pokemon stood out the most to you? Ryan, I'll let you start us off here. What Pokemon do you think was the MVP? Who carried?
Yo, my boy Escavalier, PokeNerd really put him to work. He proved why he was a world champion, and he just clicked Ironhead like 6 times and soloed everyone. I was really impressed with him. I'll give it to Escavalier for sure.
Yeah, personally, I would agree. I think Escavalier was the standout. I hope it's not like recency bias since we just saw the replay. Excuse me, sorry guys. But in my head, it's like Escavalier definitely stood out. I think Rotom stood out. The reason why I think Illumise wasn't the MVP, because like I don't think Illumise as a Pokemon carried. I think Ryan prepped well. You know what I mean? Like when we say MVP, we mean like the guy that like carried or the guy that got like a flinch when they really needed it. But I think Rotom and Escavalier are probably the 2 that come to my mind. But I am leaning Escavalier. What do you think, Mox?
So the ones that come to my head is Escavalier, right? Which is probably just going to be what it is. And the other Mon, it's actually not Illumise. It's Illumise's partner, Dracovish. Because Dracovish won game 1 essentially by itself the second it woke up, right? It 6-0 swept. The only reason that I'm leaning for Escavalier over Dracovish is because Vish did not have that same showing in game 2, while Escavalier was consistent throughout all 3 games.
Yes.
It was consistent.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
Game 2 was pretty much just fodder to spam weather. Which, in a way, I did its job there, too, but definitely a lot less cool than just Escavalier killing everything 3 games ago. So,
yeah, Escavalier just picking up a million one-shot frags. All right, cool. So I'm pretty comfortable with that. I agree with both your points. I think Escavalier probably is going to walk away with the MVP. All right, so for best play, I'm going to give... best play is a little more difficult. I have 3 plays in my head. I'm gonna give you guys my bias play first. This is bias, but I think it deserves it. Araquanid wide guard into Explosion, I think was a really fucking good play. And Dragonite literally just wrote in the chat, "Oh." So I think that goes up there. I think the aromatherapy play, although that also, like, is it prep or is it the play? But still, that was a great play. And then there was a specific play. I'm trying to think. There was a play I wanted to remember that stood out to me on one specific turn.
I think I know the one you're going to talk about. Which is Meldy clicking Trick Room in game 2 of him versus Jen.
Yes. Yep. That was it. Yeah, so Meldy clicking Trick Room, even though it felt like Meldy had the lead and he was just kind of running away with it, I still think that like if that's not Trick Room, Jen has a chance to just reverse sweep in a way. It doesn't mean that it was gonna happen. Like maybe Meldy wins either way, but I just thought it was a really good play. So like in my biasness, I'm gonna say Wide Guard Explosion, but I'm not mad at Aromatherapy and I'm not mad at Trick Room. I think those are both great plays.
I'm kind of leaning towards Meldy Trick Room myself personally.
Yep.
Yeah, I can agree with that because the aromatherapy, like you said, is it more a prep or a play? I think it's more of a prep in. So I would definitely agree with you guys. But I would say actually my personal favorite play is like Dozo like position his Caracosta to get that insane sweep. You just be able to shell smash and shock slide everyone to death. But
Ooh. You know what? That
I would be
Aqua
fine
Jet.
giving it to Melody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those will really have some like sick play with the Caracosta. But I think Melodies they're like pretty even, so I would go with Melodies though.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that yeah, the Caracosta, it's weird because it was a string of plays. Like I think the
Yeah.
shell smash into the Aqua Jet into like the rock slide was just like amazing. So I'm glad you brought that up because Dozo deserves that recognition. Also, Bryugo's not
It
even
was
going to
some good
discuss chat
positioning.
suggestions. What suggestions? You guys wrote 0 plays. What are
There's
you
been one
talking about,
suggestion, which
Bryu?
is Mamoswine is an honorable MVP mention, but MVPs are on winning teams, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. What? Yeah, come on, get that out of here. Get that out of here. But yeah, I think we talked several MVPs. What? You said
Y'all agreed with me and Bryu, you
Dracovish,
threw in
Moxie
Glaceon.
said Dracovish, Rotom is Cavalier, Illumise we spoke about. The only one we didn't speak about was Mamo, which like Mamo didn't win.
Glaceon is in there as a discussion for MVP.
Oh, Glaceon?
Personally, Bryu,
Nah.
if I'm putting an MVP from your games, it's Sinistra and not Glaceon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Glaceon did what it was supposed to do, but Sinishot like overperformed. Like of course Glaceon is gonna kill all the grass types, but Sinishot is really what won you that set.
Yeah,
Honestly.
Bryu's correct. It is racism.
Yeah, it might be racism, or maybe oldism. Is that what they call it? But to be
Ageism.
fair, I think it's definitely
more
more
boomers.
Sinistra than Glaceon. But also I think like that's Dozo not prepping for Sinistra. You know what I mean? Or that's Dozo just bringing a Pokemon with only normal moves, as opposed to like let's say Sinistra would have got like a matcha gotcha crit bird that would have saved you. Then it would have been like, oh, remember when Sinistra won the match? As opposed to like the Escavalier and the other ones, like we just saw it like absolutely steamroll kind of thing.
Yeah, like Bryu, and it's no slight against you, right? Because like the way I look at your team is you had, if we were voting for like best adaptation, you win that hands down because your game 2 and game 3 play was exactly like a comeback from how game 1 went, and you realized like, oh, Dozo didn't prep for this, and your team did exactly what it was like supposed to, right?
Yeah.
The reason I don't bring up Glaceon is actually the same reason I don't bring up Rotom Mo. Because like I think Glaceon performed incredibly well into a team that gave Glaceon the opening to do it. Like I can't give it to Rotom because what is Jen doing against an electric grass type?
yeah.
Like it's just
Yeah,
does it have a
much.
lot of knockouts? Sure. If it didn't have a lot of knockouts, I'm having a whole different fucking conversation.
Yeah, true. All MVPs could be judged as well as Pokemon Steamroll because there wasn't enough prep for it. Yeah, but like there's a fire type on Kiramis's team, right? Like that's just positioning, and also Pokénerd set up Trick Rooms so a Escavalier can sweep.
Like looking at Escavalier, using it as the example, right? Like there are 3 Mons that don't want to see it, but Basculegion resists all of its stab moves. Orthworm resists all of its stab moves. Emboar should be able to one-shot it.
Yeah.
So, like, are there 3 weaknesses? Yes, but there are also 3 direct counters.
It also never full parried, so it was clutch.
Facts.
Because let's be honest, Bryu, if that was me or you, we would have got full parried 4 times in a row and somehow lost that game. Let's be honest, Bryu.
Paralyzed because it wanted to show how much it loves you.
Exactly. So shout out to Escavalier for also not getting full paralyzed. Because if that was us, yeah, it would have went a little sideways.
Yeah, also, Bryu, exactly. It's like I said, 100% it's not your fault. I look at your team more as an example of like your play than the team itself. Like I said, if we voted for like a 4th category of best adaptation, you take it hands down.
Yeah, for sure. And this is just week 1, so remember, guys, there's gonna be a lot of chances for you guys to kind of go ahead and get these shout outs. I'm pretty much feeling good. I know it's getting late. I know we'll be on here for a while. We're all adults. We're all sweepy. But do you guys have any kind of like closing thoughts? Any last things you wanted to talk about? Anything that you're excited about in week 2? How we feeling, gamers?
Well, congrats on finishing week 1. 1 week down. Like, what do we got? Like 8 more to go. Hope Dragonite's ready for more weather, because I'm gonna be Gara clinking around all this land come Sunday. So we'll see how he handles that. Hey, I'm not gonna go easy, but I don't want my guy to be O2, but I would do what I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? But I'm excited to see what everyone does with these low base power Pokemon. It'll be nice to see how it pans out, honestly.
I'm not looking forward to having to play against CMBZ's dog. That's going to be horrifying. Somebody please keep that dog in the cage.
Okay.
But honestly, I'm really looking forward to having just a good time.
Moxie, this is the 1 week where if you spam the life out of him, no one will judge you, because he's bringing Eruption. There ain't no way he's not freaking Eruption. So you have a 1 week pass to just spam your life away.
Okay, well, since CMBZ isn't here, and Steve, I recommend you don't do it, because I'm pretty sure Phoenix watches the VODs. And I know CMBZ ain't going to have no time to watch some VODs. I am slapping Rain Dance on Meowstic and hoping it works.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Pranks the Weather is just OP.
Meowstic is so good, bruh.
Yo, I love this little cat, dude.
I know some people call him a fraud, but he's the truth to me.
Yeah, Meowstic is cool, and I like that Meowstic gets Fake Out, even though it doesn't like often use it, depending on it. But I'm bringing Lumineon, Fear Me. Here, do I have any fun spoilers for my match? I mean, we're doing a gimmick, so I really can't give too much away. But the gimmick is official, so me and Jarrett are going to be doing our match. The gimmick is all 6 of our Pokemon are only allowed to have 1 move. So it's going to be explosive, and it's going to be fast.
God, I know exactly what you mean by it's going to be explosive.
No. Okay, all right. Scout's Honor. I'm not bringing Explosion this week.
Yeah, and I'm not playing against CMBZ's dog, dude.
No.
How do you betray yourself like that? How can you betray yourself like that, bruh? No Explosion, who are you?
There's only 1 move per mod, and I feel like if I bring Explosion, yes, it will work, because obviously the opponent can't protect, but I feel like that's disingenuous and like kind of cheating, so I'm not doing it. No Explosion for me this week. Scout's Honor. The week after that,
the lead to be Quillfish,
no promises.
Dusclops, Explosion.
When I lead Quillfish, Dusclops, and Jared just starts sweating.
My wife was playing. It wasn't me.
Oh no, the Snorlax plushie came to life and took over the controller.
Chat, completely unrelated news, but I just got a dog. They're gonna be here tomorrow. This is completely unrelated to everything else.
Yo, he got Mr. Pugsley for real?
Yeah, we got Mr. Pugsley. He's coming in from the dog pound. It's gonna be great. All right, cool. Yeah, I think I'm good, man. Thank you guys for hanging out. This is kind of a different type of stream vibe. We just kind of sat here and just bullshitted for a couple hours. But I have a lot of fun. I hope you guys had fun kind of hanging out on a Thursday night. Y'all are beyond me. Just say you're going to use the broken strategy if you're going to use it. No, but in this case, to make a gimmick and then bring Explosion, I just feel like it's like genuinely like messed up. I'm not doing it. But I am going to bring some fun stuff. However, Moxie and CMBZ, they deserve each other because they're both going to do it.
What the fuck? I haven't even done it. What do you mean? I have stuck so true to my word.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. It's all right. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it here. Ryan, Big Dog, I really want to thank you for joining us for week 1. If anybody is interested in doing the week 2 recap, just hit me up on Discord. There's a lot of weeks, so we'll probably have Ryan on again. We'll probably have Moxie on again. I'm sure Briu might want to hop on for one of these. So, Briu, I would love to have you. Steve, I would love to have you. If anybody wants to do it, just let me know. And if not, it's all good. We'll try to do like one person per week, so it's not just me yapping. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. I really appreciate you. Moxie, thank you. Ryan, thank you. Love you guys as always. I'm just going to go ahead and end the stream. No raid. It's really late. I just want to go to bed. So GG's, everybody. Have a great night, guys.
Not everybody.
Peace out.